Today I'm going to show you how to take your Wanhao D7 from a 1.4 to a 1.5. This video should be quite simple really. We're going to unbox and install a Wanhao D7 1.4 to 1.5 upgrade kit. Let's get right into it. Alright, welcome to the unboxing portion. We cut open the tape and we pull out all the components and then nicely wrapped in Glad wrap. From start to finish we have the new platform that the objects are built on, we have the new linear rods, we have the new stepper motor coupler and the cap to hold the top of the assembly together, some nuts and bolts we leave in the bag, we have the new spine of the machine, the new top plate, and finally the new carriage. Well, I've unboxed everything and one thing is definitely missing, and that is written instructions. So I'm going to start and see how far I can get by myself, and if I need to I'll refer to something on their website. Although it's cut off here, I'm removing the two screws from the top of the whole thing in the red section, and now I'm turning my attention down to the connector between the stepper motor and the lead screw. The bolts for this were actually extremely tight to the point where I couldn't get them undone. I had to give up and go and get a better Allen key set just to budget. You can see quite a lot of force here, and then all of a sudden it came and I was able to undo them like you would expect. After you've done this, the whole top of the assembly will be able to slide off, and you can see as I place it down, it's all in one piece. Next we turn our attention to the optical sensor that triggers the home point for the Z-axis. It's got two bolts, undo them, and then once you do, you'll see a plug underneath that you need to very carefully undo. There are two black washers which space it off the platform, so make sure you don't lose those. You can see one tried to roll away for me. There are 4 pieces of high quality black electrical tape which prevent the LCD from moving around as we take the vat on and off and as we home the printer. I decided to keep those, so you can see as I peel them off I put them on the edge of the table for later. Be very careful not to get any fingerprints on your LCD screen, and also be careful not to flex it and risk snapping it. You won't be able to pull it off at this stage because it's still connected on the underside. So to access that, we're going to take off the 4 bolts on the top plate that are on the corners near all of the other joins, and then we should be able to lift it up a little bit more. Another reminder that it's most important you don't try and lift it all away, because we still have 2 connections in place underneath, the most important being the LCD screen. To access this, we're going to open up one half of the printer. You'll need to go down one size in your Allen key, and then there are 2 bolts either side that come undone. The whole piece flexes, so you can see that it's lifting open as I undo it, and then finally when it's free you can lift it up and place it carefully to the side, because we will be definitely using this piece again. The best place to disconnect the ribbon cable for the LCD is where it attaches to the board underneath the printer. You just have to give it a little bit of a jiggle and pull directly away from it, and it will satisfyingly unclick, and you'll be able to feed the ribbon cable carefully through the provided slot and set it down aside. You might find there's a little bit of hot glue on your connector for the stepper motor, so you might need to cut that away before you pull it. Separate it carefully and then place the electronics we won't be modifying off to the side. I've just finished the disassembly and it seemed to be fairly straightforward. I've made 3 piles. In the middle I've got all of the new parts. On my left I have all of the old parts that I know we'll be replacing, and on my right I have all of the parts that have been pulled off that I know will be going back on, and I'm keeping all the screws together with each component so they don't get mixed up. I think it's time to start disassembling the top of the machine and fitting some of the new parts. From the underside of the top plate we're going to use our Allen key to remove the 4 screws that hold on the reflector that guides the UV light up behind the LCD screen. It's not as important as some of the other components, but try not to touch it with your fingers and put fingerprints. We want to keep that light as bright and even as possible. As soon as you've taken it off, I recommend bringing in the new part and fitting it in the exact same orientation to avoid any chance of making a mistake. Since it is sheet metal, the edges can be quite sharp, so please take care when you're working with it. Next we're going to pull out a larger Allen key, and from the underside of the plate we're going to remove the large screws that the vat is attached to. This takes an annoyingly long time to unscrew them with your hands, and just like we did with the reflective plate, we're going to immediately take them and put them into the same position on the new piece. Double check that you've got them facing the right way, because it takes quite a lot of time to unscrew them and then screw them the whole way in. Give them a good tighten because we won't be accessing this part again. Next we're going to turn our attention to the 4 screws holding on the stepper motor. Some of these might be quite tight. It's possible you'll need a second Allen key to crack the seal, and then after that remove them, making sure to not lose anything because you will need all of the screws to put it back together. Don't put the stepper motor in place on the new plate yet because it will block the screws that we need to put together the vertical assembly. At this stage, I'm going to leave the vertical assembly on the top of the printer because I think that's going to be completely replaced by the new one. Pretty interesting to look at how the old one works. Didn't actually use linear bearings, even though it had linear rails, so it just has these normal bearings and it aims to trap itself as it rolls up and down. I think we might proceed by removing the nut and the lead screw and then building the new vertical assembly of the new parts. We're going to start this process by turning our attention to the old carriage. The lead screw and the nut are held on by 4 screws at the top. As soon as we've got all the little nuts off, we're going to put them aside safely and immediately transplant the lead screw and the nut through to the new carriage. It goes from the side with the largest section. We immediately put back in the 4 nuts and we do them up as tight as we can so this part is completely finished and ready to move on. Next is attaching the new spine to the new platform. We're going to use the larger mushroom head bolts for these and we're going to do them up as tight as we can. Be careful when you're working with it not to dent the reflective mirror section as it's very skinny. Now we're going to put in the 2 linear rods, get the new carriage and align everything and feed it from the top, and it should, after not much effort, slide down and be able to move along the new shaft. If it seems stuck, it's likely you've got something misaligned. Now we can take the new shiny red anodized cap, line it up with the linear rods and then insert the other 4 mushroom headed bolts to hold it in place. Next we turn our attention to putting back on the stepper motor. Make sure the plug faces away from the reflective array and then come back to the top, ensure alignment and put in the little M3 bolts to hold it in place. The front 2 are super easy, but the rear 2 are extremely hard to get in. After struggling for a while, I worked out that I needed to move the lead screw right out of the way and then get a skinny or long Allen key to be able to get enough movement to get them into place. Tighten them up at the end because you do not want to be doing this job twice. We have our new Z-axis assembly together. You should double check that it's moving very freely and everything seems very true. It's time to put in the Z coupler to attach the tip of the stepper motor to the bottom of the lead screw. Anytime that we're working on this, we can simply twist the lead screw in and out to change the vertical length and to get everything aligned where we need it. This next step is quite simple but also quite easy to butcher. First thing you should do is look for the little halfway slot and slide it onto the lead screw until you see the tip just in line with it. Do up the nut as tight as you can. Now we're going to slide it down and you can see I've got my finger flush on the end of the lead screw because I want it flush with the top of the bearing. Once this alignment is in place, you can tighten up the grub screw that holds it to the stepper motor. We've now connected the stepper motor to our new assembly. Everything seems to be aligned really nicely. Very important step, I've just washed my hands because it's time to handle the LCD and the electronics. We're going to put those back in now. Time to tackle what is probably the most delicate part of the reassembly, which is putting the LCD back in place. Make sure no dust has collected on the back of it. Place the ribbon cable through the supplied hole and you'll find it slots into an exact position. I recollected my original electrical tape and very carefully placed it around the 4 edges, making sure it was flat, it wasn't fouling the mounting screws for the VAT, and that I wasn't getting any fingerprints on the LCD at all. All of the new parts are completely fitted, so it's time to put everything completely back together. We're going to plug in the stepper motor, making sure that we align the pins, and then we're going to carefully lower down the top assembly, pulling through the limit switch wiring from below. We'll plug back in the limit switch and then there are 2 screws that hold it together. Those annoying little black washers need to be checked to make sure that they're in place, otherwise when we screw it down we'll crush the electrical connectors to the top of the printer. Drink some water, get some fresh air, make sure you're completely prepared for the concentration needed to push that little ribbon connector back onto the main board. Once it's in place, slide around the cover, do up one side, spin it round and then flex it into position and do up the remaining 2 screws. You may wish to leave them a little bit loose in case something goes wrong and you can access the ribbon connector once again. There are 4 screws left to attach the top surface to the frame of the printer, pop them into place and then torque them down. That should be everything completely assembled. Some people have an issue where their optical sensor for the Z bottom position isn't wide enough for the new carriage, and if they have that problem they should contact Wanhao directly and get a replacement, or whoever they bought their upgrade kit from. Looking at the top assemblies, they seem to be identical. Some of them will come with the black surface on. The recommendation in the community is to sand that with 300 to 400 grit sandpaper like I have on my original. One other mod that I like to do to stop resin from getting into the inside here, which makes it harder to clean, is to pull off this bottom plate and run some electrical tape around the outside. That makes a little bit of a barrier from the resin getting in and just makes maintenance that little bit easier. We can take our top section, insert it. You'll notice that it rests flat now, it won't go in as far as it used to, and that's to keep it parallel more consistently. We can eyeball it and make sure that it's lined up with the screen. My one seems to be, so I'm ready for a test print. Happy printing.
G'day, it's Michael again. If you liked the video, then please click like. If you want to see more content like this in future, click subscribe and make sure you click on the bell to receive every notification. If you really want to support the channel and see exclusive content, become a patron. Visit my Patreon page. See you next time.